Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the MIGO Experiment. My name is Sarah, and today I am joined by the lovely, talented singer, songwriter, all the way from California.
MEZTLI. Hola,
Thank,
hello, everybody.
thank you so much for joining me today. I wanted to just have you explain who are you, tell us a little bit about your musical background, and get to know you.
Yeah, for sure. A little bit about me. I am a independent singer-songwriter from California. I am currently writing a lot of Latin pop music. Yeah, I live on a ranch in California. I like to mix a lot of different genres in my music. Um, yeah, it's a little bit about me.
And then something that I really am inspired by you and love is that you studied music in college. And I feel like that's something that people sometimes look at as funny. Like, for example, I have a master's in music industry, you have a bachelor in music. So just tell me like what inspired you to get a bachelor's in music? How has that been like reaction from your family, from peers? Like how has that helped you become the woman you are today?
Yeah, for sure. I think a little bit about my music journey. It started when I was in third grade. My mom enrolled me in voice lessons, and from there I started piano lessons. And I've always known since I was a little girl that I wanted to pursue music. You know, it was just something I couldn't get rid of. Nobody could change my mind about it. I felt very passionate about it. So I went to college and I told my mom, "Hey, I want to study music." And she was just like, "Music? Well, what are you going to do with music after?" And a lot of people give me that look like, "Oh, you're going to be broke as a musician. Like that's not a real career." I feel like that's a very common phrase for any musician. And sure, I mean, if they want to think that, that's okay. But I knew I loved it. I knew it's something I wanted to really invest in my career and my future. So yeah, it was good. It had a lot of challenges because even in the music classes, there's a lot of competition. Like the industry is so competitive. And I feel like I just saw a little glimpse of that in school. And then now that I'm out in the real world, I get to stay out of the
Mhm.
school bubble. It's like, whoa, there's a lot of talented people out here. There's a lot of competition, like, but we're all doing what we love, I hope, like, but it's been good. It's been good. It's been empowering for me to continue to do what I love. That's what's most important to me.
I love that. And then what was the key takeaway from your program too that you think helped shape from where you were when you started and then where you are now?
I think the key takeaway for me was to keep going. In Spanish, like my mom and my dad and my nana would always tell me, sigue adelante, sigue luchando, which, keep going on, don't stop fighting. And I come from very humble background. And we come from very humble beginnings. And I think I was able to take that with me into college and a lot of my life, and just to not lose your essence and to keep standing out. So I think that's the biggest takeaway, I would say, because I didn't have a lot of friends in college. It was just hard. Everyone was kind of in it for themselves. So it was very lonely, but I had peace in myself that I'm like, hey, I'm doing this for me, and this is my passion, and I'm not going to give up. And I think that's very important.
I love that. It's like a motivational speech to other girls. I mean, being a woman in the industry too, like there's this ups and downs and everything. So I love hearing that from you. And then also, I know your latest single, Gozar.
Ya tengo tu corazón bajo mi control. Ya sabes que como yo no hay otra bombón. Ya estás entendiendo, mi amor. Aquí la que manda soy yo. Ay, papi. Y ahora estoy aquí. En tu mente. Conóceme a mí. Es un mundo diferente. Gozar, 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 papi, gozar.
Came out recently. Tell me a little bit about your creative process, like creating that song and then the music video. I saw it too. I was like, "Ooh, look at her!" How was that?
Yeah, it was good. Go Sad was inspired by a sexy romantic night. And that was the initial inspiration for it. And I also knew that I wanted to write a song celebrating women's sensualidad, no? Because I feel like a lot of time women are seen through the male gaze, and it's like they're very sexualized, right? But I also think like, what about their sensualness, like a woman's sensualness? And I think that for me was really important to capture women's essence. Aquí la que manda soy yo. I'm the one in charge, because I feel like a lot of women are not celebrated that way. It's like, I hope it's a boss song for women.
Mhm.
Um, so that was for sure like my key inspiration for it. That I wanted to be a voice for women. It's okay to express, sensuality. Nothing wrong
Mhm.
with it, because I come from a background that's very like closed-minded. So for
Mhm.
me, it's kind of a part of exploring myself and translating that into the song.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that. And then there any female artists that you look up to? Because I know everybody nowadays, like Becky G, Nancy Natasha, Sneaky Pajama, like they're embracing that sexuality. Like for you, are there any artists that you look up to that also like inspire you to really want to do this?
Yeah, I would definitely say I love Kali Uchis a lot. She's really cool. She's like has her own sound, and she does sensuality the best, like in my opinion. I also love Carol G and Becky G. But a few artists that I listen to that I grew up listening to are Cello. I don't know if you're familiar with her, but she doesn't really speak too much about sexualism or anything. But I just think a lot of her songs are women empowerment from past times of, you're going to keep going on as a woman and just being a boss and a strong, una mujer fuerte, no? And to me,
Mhm.
that's another woman that I look up to a lot. She's, her music.
I love that. And then I wanted to bring up mental health because it's not really a question that people ask much in the music industry. Like, what are tips or self-care things that you do as an artist to like keep going in this industry?
For sure. Mental health is a big thing for me, especially because I feel like in our culture, it's not talked about a lot. And I feel like my generation, and I'm not sure how old you are too, but I feel like you're probably in my generation too. Like we're more woke
I'm
with
24.
oh, 24. Okay, I'm 25.
Okay,
I
okay, okay. What that part? We're close.
I feel like we're a lot more woke and connected to mental health awareness. Whereas like our past generations, like our parents, our grandparents, it's not a really openly discussed thing. And I think it's important to raise awareness for that stuff. And it's hard. It's hard being an independent artist with so much competition going in the world, with just barely starting out. And sometimes you
Mhm.
feel like, is this all worth it? Like, is this going to be worth it in the end? Like, am I just being broke, or am I, breaking my head for something that's not going to pay off? But I think for me, something I like to do is I like to go on walks, and I like to really reflect on what have I accomplished looking back at my journey, even though it's short, right? But at the same time, I feel my journey is
Mhm.
short, but I also feel it's long, because I started at school, and then I met other people that connected me to so and so, to so and so, to so and so, and slowly doors closed, but new ones opened. And I feel like I like to
Mhm.
reflect on that and see these little accomplishments, because I think a lot of the time as an independent artist, when you're starting out, you have your eye on the big picture, and you overlook the little baby steps that are getting you to that, right? But those little things are to be celebrated, and I feel like that's something I struggle with, is celebrating the little wins, and that will cause my mental health to go down in like a little rut. But I think that's just really important, to celebrate your small wins and reflect on the little step by step.
Mhm. I love that. That's super cool. I think sometimes that we're so hard on ourselves and it's like, no, let's
Yeah.
step back. Like you
Yeah.
actually did something, we did something small, but that could lead to something bigger. And then I want to see, when did you get that like click or that light bulb that this is what I want to do? Like it's not a hobby anymore. Like this is something I want to pursue now.
Yeah, for sure. I would say I started writing music last year, and releasing music last year. But I would say it didn't really hit me until the earlier this year, with my first release of the year, Soy Mi Propia Musa. And that was a
Mhm.
Spanglish song. It was English and Spanish. And I feel I wrote that song in a time where I was feeling really down about myself. I feel like not a lot of people were supporting me, or like genuinely happy for me, starting out this career, right? Because obviously the more support you get, the more it'll help you grow. And I feel like I wasn't really getting
Mhm.
that. People who I thought were my friends, or people who I thought were in my circle, never once congratulated me or shared or anything, right? And I just started thinking like, like, it's not about them. It's about me and my journey. And those doors will open for me as long as I keep believing in myself. And I am my own inspiration. And that's basically what Somi Musa was about. My own inspiration. Haters are gonna hate. You just keep going on and keep being you. You're your own person. So I think for me, that was like the light bulb moment where I'm like, I wrote this song really from the bottom of my heart. And I feel like it really resonated with me. And this is what I want to keep doing. And no one's gonna shake it off of me.
I love it. I'm rooting for you because I was looking at your videos and then on your Spotify too. And I really love Niña Fresca.
Me llaman niña fresa. Me llamo niña fresa. Cuando salgo en la calle me veo muy cute, cute, cute. Todos dicen quién es esa. Y las tóxicas celosas me desean. Yo les digo shoo, shoo.
I was like,
Yes.
oh, look at this. So
Yes.
if I wanted to be a Niña Fresca, tell me step by step, what do I need to do? Because I was looking at the video, the dance move, but now you tell me now, what do I need to do to be a girl like that?
Well, to be Niña Fresa, you gotta own it. That is my number one thing. Own it. Own your essence. Own your individuality. Like, be a boss bee. I know I'm probably not allowed to say that in here, but be a boss bee. Like that's what that song is. Like, that song was inspired by this song I used to listen to as a kid by La Banda Zeta, and it's like a really big Mexican song that they play at Mexican parties. And it was called Niña Fresa. And so that was always my jam, but I also wanted to write like more of a grown-up version of that. And haters are gonna hate. You keep doing you, stay in your own lane, and yeah, just own it. That's the first step to being Niña Fresa, in my opinion. It's like
Yeah, because when I heard,
inventing Niña Fresa, because I feel like a lot of the time, especially like Latin culture, not Niña Fresa has like not that great of a term. It's like, oh, like a little preppy mean girl. But I wanted to reinvent that and be like, no, she can be a boss girl. Like, this is a Niña Fresa. So yeah.
yeah, because even the lyrics in the music video, like I love the different outfits that you were wearing. I was like, oh, this is cute. Let me go to the store. Let me get a new like crop top and skirt. Let me change everything up. But I
Yes.
think that's so cool about you. It's so unique. Like I don't think I've ever seen an artist like with the music you have or like the message that you're saying. I think it's so cool to see up and coming Latina artists like owning themselves and like the music. Like you write your own stuff. It's all you. And I think that's super cool now in this industry, seeing all these different types of personalities and music being welcomed now. I think that's super cool about you too. Like, how do you feel about that too? Like standing out or making yourself unique? Like, how does that feel?
It feels amazing. Like, I think that's for sure the number one thing that I always want to convey. The number one message I always want to convey is to be your own individual self. And I really strongly believe that is your superpower. Like, nobody is going to be like you. Nobody's going to be like me. And I feel like it's important to stand out because I feel like a lot of the time, in my personal opinion, a lot of Latin pop music is starting to sound the same. Obviously you have like regional Mexican corridos going on. That's all great. But I feel like a lot of Latin pop music is starting to sound the same. And I think it's important to stand out and add your own flair to it. Like I went to school, I studied a bunch of different genres, and I want to like implement those genres into my music, like going forward. And have its own like kind of fresh sound. And I feel like Niña Fresa does that really brilliantly. It's like urban, but it's like Latin pop, but it also has like, like Western pop music vibe to it. And yeah, I don't know. I think it's just really important and empowering to keep being your own self, and using your own voice in that way.
I love that. And then a dream collaboration. Who would you want to make a song with or someone to produce anything? What is on your bucket list? And we're gonna manifest it will happen too.
Manifest. Well, for starters, okay, so someone to produce my music, I really want to do a collaboration with El Alfa. I'm a big El Alfa stan. Like,
Oh yeah.
comes up with some good bangers. Like, yeah, I think it would be lit, like a good party song like that. I would really love to do a collaboration with Carol G or this other artist I listen to called Tai Shi. She's like an independent artist too. She's also Hispanic and American, but I believe she's Colombian. She's Colombian American. Really love her stuff. So I think either one of those would be like dream collabs for me.
I love that so much. And then any future projects or anything you can tell us right now what you're working on?
Yeah, for sure. So I already have a lot of music ready for 2024. In January, I will be doing my very first showcase in LA. It'll be a little intimate showcase at the Hotel Cafe. I'm very excited, and we're gonna be announcing, it's been essentially be like a launch party for a new single that's coming out January 18th. I'm super excited for that one. We have a music video and everything. And I'm just excited for my first showcase and excited for all the new music that's coming in 2024.
That's super cool. I live in Miami, so I'm gonna make a request. If you ever can come down to Miami, we would love you down here, rooting for you to
Yes,
come down here.
let's go.
But I just wanted to say thank you so much for speaking with me today and sharing your story with the MEGO experiment. I always love listening to other Latinas in music and empowering other women. I think your message is just so beautiful, what you have to say to other girls. And I hope every girl listens to what your message is and that they truly follow their dreams. And thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me on here. I'm so excited, and thank you so much for the opportunity. Yeah, I hope everyone enjoys it, and just keep being you.
Thank you. And then where can the people follow you, like your socials and everything?
Yeah, of course. So you can find me on Instagram or TikTok. I'm MEZTLI Zambrano, and then on YouTube, it's just MEZTLI. You can go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it.
Thank you. And then you guys can also follow me, Sarah J. Y. Ruiz, on Instagram too. And just thank you so much. Love you so much. And hopefully you'll come.
Go
Thank
Latinas.
you.
Woo! Bye.
Make sure you guys subscribe, comment, and like this, and tell us who else you'd want to see on the MEGO experiment.